Do you have a brand image? Is it representing you well? Do people know where you are? Is it visible enough to all the audience that you build it for? I'm here to discuss that today. How do you maintain your brand? Are you benefiting from it? If you have all those questions answered or not answered, I am here to give you tips on how to build an effective brand image. Everybody doing, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah. If you're new, please subscribe. And today I am here to talk Welcome back to my channel, creating, maintaining, and enjoying your professional life. To those of you that already have a brand and you're thinking, I'm already branding myself, I'm already putting myself out there, but things are not working according to plan. Maybe it's something to do with your visibility. Because if you already call yourself something, done all the logos, done all the names, the CVs, right, everything is perfect, but nobody's actually paying attention to you, or nobody's using you, or nobody's buying your services, or nobody knows that you have a business or is there, maybe it's something to do with your visibility. We all want to be that one person that stands out. Let it be interview, let it be job, let it be business. We want to be the one that stands out, but we neglect personal branding. And I'm here today to give you tips on how to make sure that you build your personal branding the best way. If you haven't already started, you need to build yourself a brand. You are a brand. A brand doesn't mean that you already have a clothing line, you already have this and that built up, and therefore you begin calling yourself a brand. You are an individual who is already a brand that just need to be worked on. Before you putting yourself out there, branding yourself as something, be sure of the brand before you put it out there. Most people don't know who they want to be, but they go ahead and build a brand, which is a mistake, because that is going to present to the world what you are not. Be sure of who you want the people to know you as. Be intentional when you're going out to people, when you want them to know that I am so and so. I'm a career advisor, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a career person, I like doing these things. Be intentional. This is one thing that I have noticed, that when you don't fear of who you are, or when you're not fearful of who you want people to know you of, it is good. It will give you confidence, because confidence starts with you in order for people to see that, or to be confident of what you're giving them. So be intentional that yes, I am here to present you this information. You either take it and correct me, or you just leave it. But this is who I am. Connect yourself to the business. Connect yourself to the brand. Connect yourself to exactly what people think the brand is. Because some people are so far away from what their brand is saying. So they're building, for example, they want to be a career something. But in everything to do with them is talking about hair, is talking about clothing, is talking about something different. Now you're confusing people. They don't know what exactly they should think of you on. If you're just starting, maybe it's not a good idea to have hundreds of brands. Make sure that before you mix up things, you know exactly what it is that you're after, and you're sure, and you connect yourself to that brand. Number 4, because there's so many people who graduate exactly like you, or there's so many people who if you're selling food, there's so many other people who are selling food. If you're a designer, there's so many designers. What makes you so unique that we'll all be thinking about you? What makes you so unique that will only run to your brand, or that will only leave good comments on your brand? You need to think about that, because if you remain in the same basket as everybody else and they sell, let's say, plain blue jeans and you also just sell plain blue jeans without anything else, without anything unique about them, maybe people are not going to pay attention. They're just going to randomly pick anything. But that's not what you want, because you'll probably be in that basket for a long time without anybody picking you out. So discover what's so unique about your brand and market that more of anything else. Number 5, you cannot be all things. I know I kind of mentioned that earlier, but you cannot be all things at the same time. You cannot be trying to build a brand as an engineer, but at the same time, when we go to your Facebook, we see an engineer. When you go to your Twitter, we see like a dancer. When we go somewhere else, we see this. You can't, because then you're confusing the people who are trying to understand the brand you're building. So focus on that one particular brand, and then know that this is who you are, because the truth remains that you probably have specific skills and qualities that you can use to build that one thing. Everything else, you just want to do it because other people are doing it and they're succeeding in it. Mind your reputation. Mind your reputation or your character. Okay, so many people go out there and build a very interesting and brand, and they market themselves. They're everywhere. You know them as this great person, but then when you meet them in person and they start talking about their brand, it doesn't reflect that. Or their character is so bad that you don't want to remember. Their character is so bad that you probably even teared up all the business cards that you have. So be careful of your character. And I'm not saying that to fake up things. Be authentic. But make sure that you mind your character, because at the end of the day, when you decide you've made up your mind that I'm making sure I'm building my brand and this is what I want people to know, it doesn't really benefit you if you do things that are giving other information. So be mindful of your character. Maintain a uniformity. I don't even know how to say. Maintain uniform. Be uniform in everything that you do. If you go on your social media, like for example, my name is Leah and William on social media, all of them, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, anything that I open, it will be that. And you cannot find me with anything else. And before when I used to be young, or when I was young, when I started just opened up social media, I opened up this, I opened up that, and I realized people don't know me. I'm confusing my followers, because one minute they're talking to me as Purity, the other minute they're talking to me as Leah, the other minute they're talking to me as so and so. So I've kind of spread them up, mixed them up, and they don't know what they're doing. So regardless of how many things I am doing, my name is Leah and William, and that's all you see. So be careful and maintain a uniform message. Okay, this next point is very important. When you're seeking support, when you're seeking guidance or advice, whatever you want people to help you with in terms of your branding, you need to make sure that you're clear of what you want, because clarity will give you direction. If you don't know what you want, or you don't know how people should help you, or you don't know how much information you need to process before you put your brand out there, maybe it's not a good idea, because you're losing yourself. You're stuck. So make sure you're clear when you're asking people. Otherwise, you're going to be confused. Okay. Make sure that you know what is about to break you down, or what to break your brand. Because if you do not pay attention to the things that could break your brand or destroy your brand completely, you might be building, but at the same time doing things that are completely destroying your brand. This is kind of similar to your reputation, but sometimes the things that could break your brand are things probably you're not doing, but they're people around you, or softwares that you use, or everything that you think of that can destroy your brand, pay attention to it and find a way to work on it. Because if you ignore it, then you're not really building. Because at the end of the day, at some point, it's gonna break by the things around it. Mind the network of people that you socialize with, because if you keep yourself with like-minded people, you are likely to be supported. You're likely to see how they do things. You're likely to be encouraged because they understand, they're interested, and they know the route you should be taking. But if you have a number of people who are totally different from what exactly you should be doing, then you're in trouble, because sometimes you're going to feel like maybe you're doing something wrong. This, I felt it myself, because I surrounded myself with people, not wrong people, but these are people who are not interested in these kind of things. These people who don't find this even very important or whatever, and to them it doesn't satisfy them, it doesn't give them anything. They don't see any point of doing what I'm doing. And the more I moved closer to those people, the more I feel like I need to stop what I'm doing. So mind the network of people that surround you. Maintain integrity. There's so many people that have a brand that looks so good. Like, for example, on eBay. I bought a few things on eBay. And you look at something and say, wow, this is well branded. This looks like, this looks real. And you pay your money. And that thing never turns up. Or it turns up and it's completely broken. It's completely fake. It doesn't work. Now, what you're doing is destroying your brand. So if you promise people that I'm going to give you a white and blue, whatever, microphone or whatever you promise, make sure that you deliver. And if, obviously, we're not all perfect, but if something goes wrong, make sure that you amend it. Make sure that the customers are happy. That will help your brand. But if I buy something and all I'm doing is complaining, of course I'm going to go back to people and say, you know what, are you talking about this brand? No way. I bought something there, or I've employed that person, or I've done this, and they're not really what they say they are. So make sure you maintain integrity. And adding on to that, be authentic. Because authenticity helps you to carry on, if that make any sense. If you're, you maintain authenticity, it gives you ideas that are endless because it's within you. These are things that you're doing anytime you can wake up. Like anytime I could wake up, I could come up with something to talk about. I don't know how. I can come up with something to write. I can do things because these things are within me. I am not doing this because someone else is doing it. But if I get up and say, let me see, I'm trying to think of something I don't really like doing that other people are doing. Well, I can't think of anything right now. Something that completely out of me, and then I try to do it because other people are succeeding in it. That's a big mistake. If you see me doing this and you want to do it just because I'm doing it, it's wrong. So be authentic, or maintain authenticity. I couldn't even say the word. So that it's natural. It all comes natural and you enjoy it. This next point is also very important. Be knowledgeable. Keep yourself informed. Know what's going on in that area. Because if you're trying to build a brand and you don't even know the changes that are going on in the world, you're going to be branding yourself something that is said, do not use that kind of logo. Do not call yourself this, or don't use this social network, or don't do whatever. Keep yourself informed so that even the message, the information that you're passing on to your customers or the people you're trying to brand yourself for, or employers or whatever, you have up-to-date information. So you're not left behind, because if you're left behind, they probably don't want to know. They've already had about that. They probably have what you're trying to offer, so why would they even need you? Which takes me back to me talking about your unique selling point. You might have something that you think it's unique, but if you're not informed, it might not be unique. It could be something that they've already done and tried and failed, and you're trying to offer the same thing. So keep yourself informed. Make sure that when you actually go out there, you're not scared. You're not scared. Be confident of what you're saying to people. Be free. Like right now, I'm saying this because I know it's true. You cannot do anything right now without you being noticed. Even though you're doing something good, who is going to know where you are without branding yourself? So don't be scared, be confident, and present yourself to the world. Use all the platforms that are there. Use social media, use Facebook, use Twitter, use Instagram, use whatever you think of. Nowadays, there's another one, TikTok or something, whatever it is. Keep yourself to those things so that people can know. Otherwise, if you're doing something good in your house, not many people will probably come to your house. So make sure that you know what you're doing. And last but not least, allow your brand to grow. Some people want to build a brand today, and tomorrow they want it to be a multi-million brand. They want it to be the best. Wanting it to be the best, it's okay, it's good, but give it time so that you can try, test things, know what's working, what doesn't work, and what's good for you. Allow your brand to grow. That's all I have for you today concerning your brand image. If you have any questions, please fire them up to me. My name is Leah, and I'm so grateful that you watched my video. Please do not forget to subscribe and share and like.